Another weekend gone by, and another weekend of the Yanks abroad putting in some good work. Let's start in Italy. Weston McKennie
Yeah.
scores the opener for Juventus versus Monza in a 2-1 win, playing as a fullback at the
Yeah,
weekend.
interesting that he still remains the Swiss Army knife for Thiago Motta. And we saw him get some playing time. We obviously saw the glorious Champions League goal against City, and there was all this. I mean, I think there's forward momentum for Weston McKennie, but he still is a player who feels like he's never completely solidified
I'd
as
love
a
to see him
first
be the
choice
man, like
guy.
truly be the man. He's like on the field, he has been a go-to for them, but when will he be like put up front by a team as this is our guy?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, he's playing at a legacy club with a lot of ambition. You know, whether or not Juve can compete right now in Serie A with Atalanta, with Napoli, with Inter, clearly it doesn't feel like they
Not right now.
can, right? By the way, this win against Monza, who's way down at the bottom of the foot of the table, Monza, so you had to win this game. The win against Monza ended a run where Juve couldn't win games. I think they had what four games, four at least, with draws in the league. So, you know, they are kind of stuck in neutral and certainly not where Juventus wants to be. I don't know what this means for Thiago Motta's future, right? Because as much as it's like Thiago Motta is this hot coaching commodity, look what he did with Bologna. Look at how he turned them and his football, the way he plays. It's interesting, right? He was in the same wave of discussion as we had with Xabi Alonso at Leverkusen. I mean, not the same football and obviously not the same league, but the same idea of like, okay, these are the new soccer minds that are coming through, and you better grab on to his coattails because he's going to go off and do something amazing. And you know, Juve needs the talent to do it, but that's sixth place is not good enough for Juventus. So is Thiago Motta is his job secure if they remain kind of floating there through the new year? Like that I don't know. And then you get into that place of like, okay, what does that mean for Weston McKennie? What does it mean for Tim Weah if they have to go through another coaching change?
You hope that doesn't happen. I mean, Juventus was pretty patient with their manager previously, and it's hard to expect that. But I mean, you wouldn't say Juve fans or the organization would necessarily be mild mannered and be like, "Hey, let this guy cook for a little while." But to be fair, he hasn't lost, and Juventus has not lost since October 22nd. They just have a whole lot of draws in that run. They've
Yeah,
got some
yeah.
wins, but a whole lot of draws. And you noted that Monza, the foot of the table. If you saw McKennie's goal, you could see the defensive play and
You
effort
can see
on.
why. You can see
You could
why
see
they're at the
why
foot of the
they're maybe
table.
not at the top of the
Should
table.
you're saying that a player shouldn't be unmarked about 3 feet from the goal line and able to side volley in a corner kick? That's what you're saying. Is that what you're saying, Robert?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's essentially like an equivalent to like a 1 yard goal line touchdown untouched. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that if you're gonna if there are some goals that are easier than others, and that was on the easier side for sure. Elsewhere on the continent, Malik Tillman scores the third in a 3-0 win for PSV. A
Yeah.
beautiful right-footed curler from the American national team player.
We're at a point now with Malik Tillman, right? And it hasn't come together for the national team. And we can take that particular issue when we can put it to the side. And it's going to be on Mauricio Pochettino to get the most out of Malik Tillman when he suits up for the United States. Because so far it has not clicked. He's had some moments, but I think overall we're all a little underwhelmed with what Malik has brought to the U.S. men's national team. So we can put that to the side. If we're just taking, hey, here's an American player, or here's a U.S. international who does get called up on the regular for the U.S. men's national team and figures to be in the picture going to 2026, and we're watching what he's doing at PSV Eindhoven, and we're seeing Ricardo Pepi in that same team and the rumors around him about a potential move, something like a 20 million euro offer from somebody. You know, I did see that listed in the internet forums as Liverpool. I don't know that it's confirmed anywhere at all. And the way that Liverpool's playing right now, I don't think I want Ricardo Pepi going to Liverpool. He will never touch the field. He'll never get in to that team with the way that they score goals. I don't, who knows? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Doesn't matter. Again, it's reported a 20 million euro offer for Ricardo Pepi from a Premier League club. Where is the smoke for Malik Tillman? This is what I'm wondering. Like, is he obviously it didn't happen at Bayern Munich. He lands in a good place at PSV Eindhoven, and we all respect Dutch football and the history of Dutch football and all those things. But there's nobody that sees Malik Tillman playing as he's playing at PSV Eindhoven and thinks he should just stay there. He should just stick it out. Be at PSV Eindhoven and play like this, because if he is going to improve his national team output, and if he is going to be a better player in his career, he's got to be challenged more. And PSV is not the place to be challenged more because they are dominant. He gets good goals. But where is the potential move, and what does that look like, and where would we want? It's on him. It's on his agents. It's obviously on the football market. But where would be a good place for Malik Tillman to land so that he can elevate his game, and then, again, we can see the fruits of that with the U.S. men's national team?
That's a good question. Kind of looking at his age, he's 22 years old. He's been at, he's had some big clubs, obviously. Where would be his landing spot? Should he just like rack up some experience and, notch some goals and win some trophies? Or kind of throw his hat in the ring elsewhere? I mean, that's a hard one to question.
I'm not trying to rush him out the door, right? I'm not necessarily saying he needs to go this next summer. But there will be a moment, there will be a limit to what he can be as a player if he just stays in Holland, right? And again, there is a push-pull here, right? And we've seen it with various players. Sometimes you just need to be in a place where you're comfortable to be good, to play well, to be happy, right? Just like all of us, we want a good working environment. It's why we're so good here on Morning Kickaround, because we have a wonderful working environment, right? We're all comfortable, we're all happy. I mean, that's a major part of this, and I don't think the idea should be take Malik Tillman out of PSV and drop him in some deep water somewhere and see if he can swim, because you want to have him be happy, be comfortable, play well, because those things are working for him. But there is a limit, because it's the Eredivisie. It's just not the same level as if he went back to Germany and played in the Bundesliga, if he landed in the Premier League, if he played in Italy. Those are higher levels, and I think we're ready to see him make those moves, or at least for there to be a real discussion about where he might go next.
For those unfamiliar, if you want to see some goals, check out PSV this season. After 17 games, they've scored 59 goals. So if you want to catch some goals, PSV games are the place to go. Switching to Britain, Tyler Adams, 89 minutes for Bournemouth as they win 3-0 versus Manchester United.
Manchester United is a bad soccer team. It's a bad soccer team right now. Okay. Forget all that, right? Whatever. Bournemouth is a good soccer team. Iraola is a good coach.
Oh, yeah.
And I think my trust level right now for Iraola when it comes to Tyler Adams is a 10 out of 10.
Like, the best it's been since he's been in England, right?
I trust that Iraola understands how to get the best out of Tyler Adams right now without putting him in jeopardy, right? He made a start. He made, I think, 2 appearances, if I remember correctly, and then we didn't see him for a bit. Like, there had the midweek stuff coming. There was League Cup. It seems as though they are being very smart with Tyler Adams and what they get out of him. And he steps in and plays alongside Christie in this double pivot for Iraola, and they beat United, deservedly so. Very poor United team again. And now we're at a place where, okay, we're getting ahead of steam. Tyler Adams is starting to get the engines really warmed up, and I'm excited to see what the next phase in the second half of the Premier League season looks like for Tyler without having any real expectations, right? Without going, well, he's got to play this or he's got to play that. No. Trust Iraola to manage Tyler Adams, because what we're seeing right now is the best we've seen Tyler for a very long time.
Especially on the club side. And that's a good point. Yeah. Chill. He might not make every single lineup. There's 1.5 million games in the next couple weeks. Don't have to play all of them. And maybe he stays healthy through those spots and he can, really, take that next step in the springtime and become, the most juggernaut version of Tyler Adams we've seen so far. He got a 7.6 FOTMOB rating, 61 touches, 4 tackles, and 32 of 42 passing in this match.
I don't want to even look too much into the performances, right? That's a solid. By the way, that's a Bournemouth team that across the team was 7-8 for FOTMob ratings, which tells you that they were good, and on the other side, United was bad.
Yeah.
Right. So Tyler does he 7.6 is a fine rating, but it's not even it's what, like 7th, 8th on his team, because everybody played well on the day and they won the game pretty handily. But but I don't even know if I care too much about what his output is. Right. Just as long as he gets in a good stretch of minutes and comes off healthy, and we will tick this up as time passes. Like, we'll tick this up when we get to January and February, and we'll start talking about, okay, well, now I need to see more out of Tyler, or I really do care how many recoveries he has, because that's his bread and butter. I want to see his passing numbers look good. I want to see his passing going forward look better, because that's the thing that's always lagged for Tyler that would make him truly next level and probably win him a lot more minutes at a team like Bournemouth.
Good point. I believe his stat on the day was 1 for 6 on long balls in that match. So,
well, yeah, but you said 32 of 42 passing. How many of those passes were forward? How many were square balls, and how many went backwards? Right. Those things are part of it. And Tyler's not going to be asked to be the one to unlock the opposing defense. That's not his job. But I do want him to be thinking forward rather than thinking square.
One last note, Americans abroad. Brendan Aronson got on the score sheet for Leeds in their win, and plenty other Americans saw the field.
Real quick on Brendan.
Oh, okay.
That's his level, right? This is his level.
Championship?
Now, yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the right kind of Premier League situation, he could be okay. Maybe in the right Bundesliga situation, he would be good. But it's clear that he is good enough for the championship level, and it's still early in the championship season, right? The championship season is epically long. 46 matches in the championship. Is that right? Do I have that right?
Yeah, there's 24 teams. Yeah, 46, you're right.
46 games. So 46 games to see if you get promoted. Leeds right now in second place, 3 points back of Sheffield United. So they're in an automatic promotion spot. It's very narrow. It's only a point lead over Burnley. So we'll see if he can help them win promotion. And then we'll go back around. Is Brendan Aronson a Premier League player if they win promotion? Big question. But right now, doing well.
Do your thing, Brendan.